All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Monday night YouTube as well as Periscope, as well as Facebook, as well as Twitch live. As always, welcome. Appreciate everybody being here. We've been doing these, I think about 2 years now, and just really growing. And I appreciate everyone being here. As always, the agenda is to go over the weekly watch list and then, kind of map out a plan for the week. So, number one, I'm gonna remind you this every time, whether you might get sick of me telling you, but be sure to get on the stockstotrade.com/watch list. Okay, it is the free watch list that goes out every Sunday, every weekend. I spend a lot of time on it, actually. I hope you subscribe because it's free. And again, it goes out every Sunday. And whether or not you trade the stocks, which in my opinion, you should probably be learning from them versus actually trading them. You try and reverse engineer the ideas, figure out why they're on there. Why is this particular stock on there or not? Then at the end of the day, make your own plans, and if you trade one of them, make it your own trade. You never blindly follow anyone. Use research as a tool to build your case. You'll hear me talk about building the case all the time. So that being said, definitely check out stockstotrade.com/watch list. And let's get to work. So right off the bat, man, I've talked about this a few times today. Listen, I'm not an epidemiologist. I am not a virologist. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. Okay, I don't. I'm just a entrepreneur and a day trader. Okay, but big thing that I would like to start with is good news over the weekend. If you don't read Barron's, obviously this isn't like any sort of paid. I don't get paid to mention Barron's, but really love Barron's as a weekend read. Anyway, they talked about potential vaccines. One of the biggest reason I bring up Barron's is one of my favorite stocks was featured in Barron's. I'm always, I'm a huge fanboy of Barron's. I've subscribed for years, read it every weekend. And anyway, I do the watch list, and then Barron's hits, and some of my stocks are in there. So I was kind of excited by that. But, we got a lot of positive virus-related news over the weekend. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet. Still got a long way to go. But it feels like the momentum has shifted a little bit. That being said, what's our number one trades every single day of the week, every single day, every single week? Virus plays. So that being said, let's get to the watch list. Number one, first stock on the watch list was NMAX. And, I said one of the best and strongest virus plays out there, earnings winner and a contract winner. All that coupled with the constantly breaking out chart and above average volume. No trade is guaranteed, and you always need to stop in a plan, but if you're looking for a longer-term virus hold, this is top of the list. Also a nice mention in Barron's this week. Stock only closed up 26%, was as high as 61.50. You could have bought that, it had a little bit of a dip in the morning. You could have bought that dip and rip. You could have bought that, that 10:30 high a day break. And even, excuse me, even that, into the close. Nice little VWAP hold into the close. Now it's under VWAP. It closed under VWAP in after hours. But, market really strong today. And, this was solid many times, whether that be that dip and rip right out of the gate, or again, like I mentioned, that 10:30 break, or even into the close above VWAP. I've got high hopes for this tomorrow. I think that it's up a lot. It was a $20 stock a week ago, but If the virus news continues to stay positive, I could see this gapping up for sure. So NMAX, I call that a winner. I call it a winner, from the watch list. Next one is SRMI, and you know what? Today, SRMI didn't do a whole lot, okay? But I'll tell you this much. Whatever SRMI did today, this stock or this type of stock will always be on the watch. Did you guys see this Friday? 500 million shares on Friday. It's always going to make the watch list. Always going to make the watch list. 500 million shares. Do you guys even? I know a lot of you guys are new. Do you realize the significance of that? That is just unprecedented. And then today trades 300 million. Then you add in. Tomorrow this thing's probably going to trade 1 billion shares in 3 days. Incredible. Now, gapped up this morning. Not really a trade. Okay, there was never really an entry today. But I'll tell you what, I'm always going to add this when when it trades 500 million shares. Always. Now, you got to keep this on watch. It was a dud today. I'll admit, it was a dud. Faded. But, those of you that have been around, you realize how many times have we seen these high volume, hot sector plays spike 2, 3, 4, freaking 5 times. So I'll declare a winner on NMAX. I got a loser on, I shouldn't say loser. I'm gonna say that SRMI was a no trade today. Okay? And as I always say, the idea behind the watch list is these aren't ideas for today, okay? But these are trades all week, okay? So that being said, keep an eye on SRMI. Would not surprise me to, they said they had a cure. They're not going to have a cure. Okay. No penny stock is ever going to cure coronavirus. But if they have a follow-up press release, I could definitely see this thing running. So, number 3 is Peloton. One of my favorite stocks. Going back to the IPO. Going back to IPO'd in the 20s. And it's been choppy since, but then gapped up and broke out last week. This is another one that fizzled today. I would call this, again, another no trade. But watch red to greens on Peloton. Every single day, watch red to greens. Okay? I could definitely see this thing breaking out again. Gold stock, KGC. Another kind of non-play, when they open week like this, it's still hovering around the 52-week breakout. So, not bad. And again, yeah, you could say, oh, Tim, you're making excuses. But, the idea is it's a weekly watch list. So, I think if the the biggest thing is, keep in mind, gold plays aren't going to do that well when the market's ripping. When the market, the Dow was up 900 points today. The idea behind the gold stocks as well as physical gold, people go to that. They go to gold as a safe haven. So when the Dow is up 900 points, nobody's really looking to buy gold stocks. Now, if we get some bad news, if there's more, there's more Fed printing of money, dilution of the dollar, etc. Different story, but nobody's buying gold stocks on a day when the Dow's up 900. Last one, and then we'll get to Q&A. Zynga, safest, most boring stock in the world. It's a red to green every day, and I put this stock on watch, I don't even know how many times. I mean, over and over and over again. I want to be clear. This is the most boring, slowest moving stock in the world. But if you're a part-time trader that wants to be exposed to the stay-at-home plays without crazy risk, okay? I mean, listen, if you're part-time trading and you're trying to trade an SRMI or, some other 500% or 600% runner, it ain't easy, okay? Now, if you're busy at work, you're busy with the family, whatever, you can trade something like Zynga without crazy volatility or worried about being, shook out because you can't watch it every day. So, all right, that's the watch list, man. Busy day tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow. Stuff I wanted to let you know about. The number one, the breaking news. We just launched the breaking news chat add-on, which is super cool. So what we do with that breaking news chat add-on is we actually have two former hedge fund research desk analysts sitting in, they're in multiple chat rooms, they're following Twitter, they're following multiple news feeds, and they're dropping truly actionable information in that breaking news chat. I mean, they've nailed some calls. I'll have the team drop the link to breaking news in there. Nailed some stuff, and just the greatest thing is I know a lot of you guys are really, really busy. I mean, all of us are really, really busy. So what they do is they really distill down the information, and you don't have to try and follow everything. You only see actionable ideas in there. So that's one of the biggest things. Instagram Live. I may be borderline insane, but if you're on Instagram, go to instagram.com/stocks to trade, or the link will be in chat. I'm going live every morning I can. Okay. I did a month of never missing a day at 8:30 Eastern, and right now I'm doing every day I can. So follow us on Instagram. Jump in there. It's fun. I do rapid fire prep every morning for about 15 minutes. But I think it's just a great way to get ready for the day. We're talking about the hot stocks of the day, and Instagram's cool. I like it. Behind YouTube, Instagram's probably my favorite social media. So, nice. Dennis Charbonneau says, I got the chat 2 days of breaking news chat, and it's great to have 2 green days in a row. Awesome. Good to hear, Dennis. All right, let's get to some Q&A, and then we got us a busy day tomorrow. Can you look over KTOV? Is there a play for tomorrow? So what do we got? I don't like the intraday. Tons of resistance. Tons. So I'm going to say right off the bat on KTOV, not my favorite play. And here's the thing. And I know this, to many of you, this might sound wild, but I'm about to say it only traded, 50 million shares. That's not great. It's not great for a 40, 50 cent stock. I mean, again, look at SRMI, 500 million shares, 100 million shares. What did NVAX trade today? I mean, NVAX is here's an example. NVAX is a $60 stock, and it still traded 25 million shares. So I don't think the volume's good enough on KTOV, and you've got a ton of overhead resistance. When playing the week open red to green, do you still wait for the 9:45 to 10:15 p or a.m. time range on a week open red to green? No. So what is the recipe for a week open red to green? We've got a stock that has some news. It's trading unusual volume. It closed really so keep in mind where the week open red to green comes into play is, it's something like, man, what closed really strong today? Oh, crap. I had a stock that closed really strong today. Anyway, we'll talk hypotheticals. I had a ticker in mind, but where we normally use the week open red to green is when a stock is just up, quote unquote, too much into the close, and we're like, geez, man, I can't buy it way up here. So what we're trying to accomplish with that week open red to green is confirmation of the move. So that stock's steadily uptrending all day, closes near the high of the day into the close, and you're looking at it and you're like, man, I like the news, I like the sector, I like the volume, but I can't buy it up here. I just can't do it. I feel like I'm chasing. And this is a hypothetical conversation that you would be having with yourself. You're like, man, I just really feel like I'm feeling FOMO. I'm chasing up here. So what happens with the week open red to green is you now get confirmation. And that confirmation is stock gaps down and then powers back green. That's telling you the buyers are in control. They're willing, and you'll hear me say this a million times, stock market's a market, okay? There's buyers and there's sellers. No stock can trade unless there's a buyer or a seller, okay? I don't care if it's stock trading 1,000 shares a day or 100 million shares. It will not trade unless someone is willing to sell and someone's willing to buy. And I know this, some of you, maybe you're more advanced and you're like, duh, Tim, but this gets overlooked by a lot of people. And you always need to be conscious of supply and demand and who's in control. So when that stock opens red, bids up, goes green, and people are still bidding it up, that tells you the buyers are in control. Now, could the stock instantly go back red, fade off, stop you out? Of course. Nothing's guaranteed. But when I get that stock that's up so much the day before, gaps down, buyers step in. Buyers are like, no! I joke about this a lot. And I'm guessing all of you have watched Lord of the Rings. But when you see that stock, that big mover, gap down and then start pushing back, that's when I always do the Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. And Gandalf is sitting on the bid. Okay? You're looking at level 2, and there's a big bidder, and it's Gandalf saying, you shall not pass. And he's that brick wall. Then the stock bids up, goes green. That's your confirmation of the previous day move. That's what we're looking for on these big gainers that you feel like you're chasing and you don't want to buy, at 3:50 p.m. And what's great about the week open red to green is if the stock gaps, here's the great thing about it. If it gaps down and fades off all day, who cares? Stock's dead. I call it the Ivan Drago. I make a lot of corny movie analogies, even though I don't even watch any movies. I just watch old movies. But I call that the Ivan Drago. If you remember Rocky IV, you got to watch all the Rocky movies. When Ivan's like, yeah, if he dies, he dies. And I feel like that with a lot of these week open red to greens. If it gaps down and it fades off all day, I don't care. It can move on. So now, something I want you to keep in mind, I talk about these, and I'm not saying, again, if you're intermediate or advanced, I'm not saying the week open red to green is some advanced concept, but these are the mental things, the psychology of the market that we talk about all the time. So if you want to get really nitty gritty, check out stockstotrade.com/pro. Okay, every single day. I just got off a strategy session where, the cool thing with Pro, it's a really small group and we focus and we can really get into the nitty gritty of a lot of these concepts. So I'm glad you're here, but if you really want to take that next step, check out Pro. Maddie says, how do you choose the best swing trade stocks? Since I'm under the PD2 rules, I have SDT, but wondering how to accurately choose the right swing trade stocks. Maddie, number one, I've got a worksheet for that, and my light's kind of blowing it out there. So Maddie, the biggest thing you're looking for, and I can walk you through the sheet, okay? And we do this pretty much every day in Stocks to Trade Pro. You're looking for a stock with a catalyst, okay? And here's the thing. If you're under the PDT, you want to be checking as many of these boxes as possible because you can't trade every stock, okay? So some sort of catalyst. Right now, last 2-3 years, the market's been crazy hot. You're looking for breakouts. I want you looking at stocks at or around a 52-week high. I want breakouts on the intraday as well as the daily chart. So you're looking for a stock that's breaking out on the daily as well as the intraday. Ideally, it's a good company. Now, if you look at my sheet, and I don't know if you can see that, good is in quotes, okay? Because most lower price stocks aren't good companies. I mean, they're not Apple, they're not Google, they're not Facebook, okay? But do they have a real product? Are they shipping an actual product? Are they profitable? Do they have actual sales? Because like here's the thing, Matt. When you're swing trading, like the worst swing trade in the world is some low-priced biotech with no products, no sales, can't have profits without sales, etc. So avoid low-priced, sketchy biotechs. You're looking for somebody that's selling a product right now. Is it a hot sector? Stay-at-home play right now. One of the reasons Zynga made it to my list, it's a stay-at-home play. Peloton, stay-at-home play. Netflix, Zoom, Slack, okay? And then we look for those whole dollar, half dollar breaks, look for a little bit of a higher float stock, and then does it have a history of running? So that's the speed read, Maddie, on the sheet. If you want access to the sheets, if you want to break them down every day, check out Stocks Trade Pro. Kirk on the drop shipping news. What's up with Kirk? Here's the thing. So Kirk has news. And you'll hear me say this over and over again. I mean, there's a million ways to trade, okay? You can go long, you can go short, you can trade options, you can trade Forex, you can trade futures, you can trade cryptos. There's a million different styles. There's a million different patterns. There's a million different ways to trade, okay? In my opinion, if you are day trading, short-term trading, please, right now, please focus on virus-related stuff, not some dying retailer, okay? I've been to Kirkland's with my wife. My wife has drugged me into a Kirkland's. I'll never do it again. Never do it again. I'm like, I love you, honey. Haven't you heard of the internet? Haven't you heard of Amazon? Haven't you heard of Wayfair? So listen, there's news. It's a breakout if it can get over $2 a share, but it's a dying retailer. It's like buying a cruise line or buying a rental car or buying an airline. I mean, they can go up. Any stock can go up. But if you're day trading, avoid these retailers. I think they're all doomed. And listen, if you work at Kirkland's, if your brother works at Kirkland's, if your mom works at Kirkland's, I don't want Kirkland's to fail. I hope it succeeds, and I hope it proves me wrong. Nothing would make me happier than an American company that employs Americans. Nothing would make me happier than to see them succeed. But what's the odds? And if you're day trading, virus stuff, weed stuff, earnings winners, so on and so forth. Or Sticker John says, Oracle helped me get my head in the game for IBIO today, too. Nice. Is there a reason why TTOO climbed today? Earnings. Well, earnings were last week. Oh, and then their 10Q came out. But, I mean, it's an earnings stock. So, but I'll say this. This is another funny thing about the age we live in. I don't really care about TTOO. I mean, it's only up 30%, and I see a ton of overhead resistance on this thing. Choppy chart. So, had earnings. So Lee, why did TTOO move? I would call this a delayed earnings mover, but I see a lot of failed spikes, and I see a lot of overhead resistance. So, what would you suggest somebody that wants to start playing the stock, but they're not aggressive? Trade small, Christo. So, Christo, two things. Paper trade, okay? If you're seeing these wild movers, paper trade, or just trade puny size, okay? Christo, if you're really new, if you're new to this, you're not trying to get rich today. Okay? You gotta walk before you can run. So, just trade. I don't, a lot of you guys are asking about ACB. Christo, you could have had 10 shares of ACB. I mean, let's talk hypotheticals. Let's say you bought ACB on Friday and you had 10 shares. I mean, ridiculously small size. Puny, stupid small size. You're up, $70 a share on a $100 position, So now, I mean, listen, I know $70 isn't going to make you rich. $70 will barely buy you dinner. $70 will barely fill your tank of gas. But you're trying to learn the patterns and learn the best stocks. So trade small. So a lot of you guys asking about ACB, DVAX, and Mark. Let me wrap those up and then we'll move on. Keep in mind, check out stocksandtrade.com/pro. I'm doing an 8 a.m. webinar, a 9 a.m. webinar, and a 3:30 webinar tomorrow. So what would I say on ACB? This is exactly what I talked about for a week open red to green tomorrow. Stock's up a lot. Okay. Now keep in mind, ACB is a reverse split. Okay. So this thing didn't go from $1 to $8. Okay. So when you look at the chart of ACB, make sure you know and understand reverse splits. This thing didn't go $1 to $8. But it did go from 8 to 19, which is a big move. Closed near the high of the day, closed above VWAP. ACB, totally weak open red to green tomorrow. DVAX, bread and butter here. This is bread and butter. Former runner, 52-week high, good volume, virus news. I mean, right now, a lot of you guys know one of my favorite patterns on these big movers is that morning dip and rip. This is for sure my top morning dip and rip right now. So, keep in mind, everyone, remember every Tuesday, new podcast. So go to steadytrade.com. I always forget to bring this up. I know a lot of people don't read much these days. I've got all my books right over there. But the blog, we've been crushing it on the blog lately. So go to stockstrade.com/blog. We talked about block. Actually, my favorite article from last week was about block trades. Okay, that's something that I get asked about a lot. You know, people will say, "Hey, I hear about block trades. What is that? How do I trade them?" We just posted a block trades article last week. Really liked it. I put time into them. Take 5 minutes to read them. I know in this day and age, it's like many of you can't even get through a 100-character tweet. But I mean, there's a lot of great stuff on the blog. So, all right, everyone. Busy day for me. Crazy markets out there. I did that webinar with Tim Sykes last week. Oh, actually, team, if you could drop the link to last week's webinar. I got asked about that a lot. Tim Sykes and I did a webinar about the state of the market. So I'll have them drop the link to that in chat. It was fun, and man, it is just an incredible time. I mean, the Dow was up 900 points today. I opened with talking about I see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel with the virus stuff. Man, I'm telling you, if you're and I close on this a lot, but if you're stuck at home right now, if you're uncertain about your future, if you don't know if you're going back to work, if you don't know if your business is going to reopen, I'm telling you, I've been in this for 15 years. We've never had the volatility. We've never had the volume. We've never, ever had the consistently repeatable patterns either. And just the moves and the prolonged moves. Remember when I joked earlier about a stock being up 30%? I mean, I remember for 7-8 years in the day trading community, we would lose our minds if a stock was up, 20, 30, 40%. Tomorrow morning, I won't even look at a stock that's up less than 30%. So it's a wild time. Make use of it, and I talk about this a lot. You can say, woe is me. You can watch reruns on Netflix. You can play Fortnite, or you can make the best of this time, and you can come out of it better for it. So, all right, everyone, I thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe, wherever you're watching this. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, especially if you're on YouTube, ring that bell. That way you get notified when we go live. Go to Stocks to Trade Instagram/Stocks to Trade. I'll be there live tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern. Have a great night. Thank you for the Q&A. It's fun, man. We're really growing here, and I really appreciate everyone that shows up. And I tell you, I know it's a scary world out there, but I still, when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to controlling your own destiny, I mean, it's scary. Okay, if you lost your job, or if you're laid off and you don't know if you're going back, It's scary. I agree. But there's never been a time in history when you're as in control of your own destiny. And if you're willing to work hard, study, show up every freaking day, and trade 10 shares, okay? I don't care tomorrow if you're paper trading or you're trading 10 shares. You're gonna work on getting better. Because if you can learn how to make, here's the thing, if you can learn how to make $50 tomorrow on 10 shares, and then a month from now, maybe you're making 500, and then 6 months from now, maybe you're making $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day, I don't know, whatever that number is. But you can't make $5,000 a day until you can consistently make 10, 50, 100, whatever that number is. But put in the reps now. Now. You got the freaking time. Put in the reps. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. I look forward to each and every day. Trading is wild, man. Markets are wild. It gets in you. It's addictive. But the great thing about it is a lot of things out there that are addictive are bad for you. Okay? If you're addicted to trading and the momentum and the action and the news and learning something new every day, it's something you can turn into, a revenue source. So, all right. My closing statement ran a little long tonight. All right. Have a great night, everyone. I hope to see you on Instagram Live in the morning, or would love to see you in Stocks to Trade Pro working with that small group. Get on the watch list. Check out the podcast. Read the blog. Have a great night, and we'll see you next Monday night.